Yeah, we just waiting for the you thing to come up. Or so what we waiting for. Now we live right now. We're gonna get the raw deal on the Philadelphia city, on the Philadelphia shooting. Real deal. Questions, the interview and everything. I have somebody here, but they can't show their face. You saw the last video I made. They didn't show face. We cannot show face on here. So yo, what up, cuz?
What's going on?
And nothing much. That's all. So what's your real facts on what happened down up in Tioga?
Well, it's just the basic North Philly shit, basic Philly shit. You know, cops being how they are, over aggressive, kicking in people's doors. And yesterday they just happened to, at 4:30 kicking the wrong person's door.
Wow. So they kicked in the wrong person's door. So they got the result that they really actually wanted. And here's the crazy thing about this. You know what I'm saying? The person was heavy loaded. And what you're going to do when somebody kicks in your door?
Well, if somebody kicks in your door, you shoot first and ask questions later. And seeing, being that they come in plain clothes, and if you watch the news, you would see you had a lot of white cops, a lot of black cops. Around that area, you got a lot of Temple students.
Yeah, be louder with the voice.
In that area, you have a lot of Temple students, a lot of white kids. So the brother may have thought that he was getting robbed. So initially, when he came out to answer, he came out sparking. That's what I would have done. If I was in Germantown, I would have did the same thing.
Me too. It turned into a much more bigger situation than what he thought. You know what I'm saying? And next thing you know, it led to this and led to that, led to it being holding hostages, led to his arrest. That's all. Can you go into more rapid detail of that? And I need rapid details.
Well, the bottom line is, once he realized he shot cops, you can't back out of that. There's no backing out of the fact that I shot 6 cops. You got to go all out. There's no, I shot 6 cops. I'm sorry. Come lock me up. Cops are killing people over basic traffic stops. They're killing people for less. So if I was him, and I don't promote this, so this is absolutely not what I'm saying. I'm not saying I condone it or I promote it. But if you have to get your hands dirty, you have to get your hands dirty. See, Philadelphia is different than New York. It's different from Boston. It's different from Chicago. It's different from Baltimore. It's different from DC. It's different from in Jamaica. It's different from Kingston. It's different from every place that's messed up, that has a lot of drug presence and a lot of guns on the street. Is very different. More sporadic, more rambunctious, and won't take no for an answer.
That's right. I'm gonna let you know. Here's another sample shooting that was never reported back in the 90s. Had almost 30 to 40 people killed back in the day in the mid 90s over that shooting or up there on Lancaster Avenue, a bar that they closed. Remember that?
Yes, I remember it. Now they don't talk about that anymore. The only reason why they're publicizing this so high, they didn't care about that bar. It was just a bunch of niggas killing niggas. But now it's somebody shooting cops. So now it's, the cops have to be protected. The cops have to be this. But these are the same cops. Not saying Philadelphia per se. These are the same cops who are shooting people at random traffic stops. Certain people, one guy in front of his wife and his kid who was licensed to carry, and his job was to protect people, and they killed him. So as far as them saying, do you have compassion? I have compassion for people. I don't have passion for corruption. Period. That's what it is. I don't have passion for that. There's people who are looking at this video with the shooting of the cops yesterday who are happy because they had family who were killed by cops.
That's crazy. You know, the crazy thing is you got to think back in the original day. You have family, you had uncles who were beat up by police, was tripped ass fucking naked back in those times.
Well, the bully never likes when the bully gets hit back. The bully doesn't mind bullying, but the bully doesn't like when he gets hit back. So when he gets hit back, it's a big deal. And everybody believes the hype. You know, I'm from Germantown. I put in much work. We call it Murder Town, a murder. And
that's right. And I got to witness some of that shit my damn self. When I tell you the real about my videos, what makes my videos is what I have seen with him, my other homies, West Philly, and all that. So this what makes my videos and stuff I done with. You know, I was more on the player side. He was too, but the demon and side comes in.
Well, the bottom line is you just can't take anybody's shit, and nobody can't sit up there and play you, especially if you're out here on the block. Let's say we on the block, we on Germantown Ave, or we up in Dogtown, or we in Brickyard. You know, we around the way. You know what I mean? Everybody got work, everybody got a pack, everybody getting their work from the same person. You just chop your shit up different. You put more of this on that, you put more of this on that, you stretch it up, you use this size bag. You use that size bag, you try to pass it for a gram, whatever you try to do. The bottom line is these niggas nowadays ain't playing. These little kids out here ain't playing. They all got guns. The same Second Amendment that Donald Trump and the NRA is fighting to protect is the same amendment that is putting guns in these young boys' hands who got old heads that got records for selling these guns to. And this is why you got all these fucking guns on the street.
Yeah, that's right. You know what I'm saying? It's just a very sad situation. And I'm gonna let you know, he let you know right now. You think I'm lying, you think I'm bullshitting, and somebody on here been talking shit on here, you know what I mean? Pop up and say the wrong comment, your ass is done. Anyway, we're going to put it this way and stuff like that. No, can you tell me right now, how many times my life has been taken?
The bottom line is we're not going to go into like making no threats and no stuff like that. It ain't even about that.
It ain't about threats. Yeah,
it's not about that. Right. The bottom line is if you got to get your hands dirty, you do. It has nothing to do with people commenting and cybering and all of that stuff. That's faggot shit. No one cares about no talking hard on no internet and talking hard on some group or talking hard on that. Facts are facts. Facts are facts. You know, I grew up watching Western movies every day. Every Western movie that I ever watched, at least 2 people were shot and killed, either shot off of a horse, shot in a saloon, or shot on the dirt road. Somebody was shot, and we came back to watch it the next day. It's life. It's life. Unfortunately, it's life of people that live in these areas that we live in because the oppression, the lack of work, the lack of education, what they remove from the school systems, what they don't put back and replace what they removed from the school systems. They put us into a glitch. It starts to become a cliche. And the first thing that they say is, well, y'all aren't doing this and we need to do more of this. No. Yesterday at 4:30, that brother was being served a warrant for narcotics. Narcotics is just drugs. He came out and he had more ammunition in 9 districts in Philadelphia. The brother was strapped and he was ready to go to war. I commemorate him. He's the Black Rambo. He made me think First Blood was a real deal. Sylvester Stallone, that character was fictional, but what I seen yesterday, it was the real deal. I don't salute the fact that people were shot because I don't condone that unless it's absolutely necessary. What I do condone is the fact that you have people that have been murdered for less. And this brother was able to turn himself in. Now he's going to face justice. He's going to get ass fucked in jail. He may kill himself. They may kill him. They may give him the death. I don't know what they're going to do. but they're going to do something. What I do want to say is, I would like to see more brothers, instead of us having to make posts like this about the nonsense that's going on into the city. There's a lot of urban, there's a lot of people that's doing things in the urban community that is trying to help the community as far as schooling, tutelage, helping with the young guys, helping with the young girls, to help them to grow up to escape these situations, so that they don't meet and they don't have to face the same depression, so that they can move out, they can have their jobs, they can basically have the house with the white picket fence, good stuff, the good life. Yeah, you have violence everywhere because you got nice areas where them crazy white guys come around you in the movie theater and they'll shoot the whole damn movie theater up. They'll just kill everybody randomly because someone teased them in school. The fuck you gotta do with you shooting up my whole family? But if you're in an area where the economy is split up 70-30, 30% means they're working, 70% means the rest is selling drugs, the women is selling pussy, and everybody else is selling everything else. Whether it be bootleg CDs, the Muslims is selling oils, they're selling soaps. Some people are selling sperm. I mean, like, it's all kind of weird shit that goes on. So it just basically depends on where you're at. But I always say a product of your environment. Your environment, our environment is what we created. And right now we have failed. Now, like I said, I had to put in work, but I was younger then. I had no choice. That's what I had. When I was exposed and introduced to different things, a different lifestyle, I was taught I can live better than this. A lot of people don't accept the fact that you can live better than this. They look at it as this is all you have. I'm not making any excuse for somebody that comes and starts shooting at a cop. I don't, myself personally. To me, it's sloppy. It was too emotional. If I felt I had to do something like that, I would have thought it out better. I'd have been a little bit more cerebral. But that's just me. But what I will say is cops do have a reputation of bullying people. And how long, I don't know about you guys. I grew up watching Different Strokes. And Arnold had a bully. The bully was called the Gooch. You never seen the Gooch. But Arnold was scared as a motherfucker, that Gooch. Come to find out, the whole time the Gooch was a girl. What I'm saying is, a lot of times we're afraid of guns because we got bitch niggas who hold them. And that's what it is.
Pretty much, that was pretty powerful right there. I hope y'all got something out of this message, for real, for real. Hope you got something in the message. So, as far as the future of Philadelphia in that area, what do you have to say about that? I already know what it is going to be. And the politician maybe is going to choose what they're going to choose, but whatever it is, say what you got to say.
Well, I got to look at, even after that shooting last night, 4 more people were murdered in the city. So it doesn't matter. Guns are going to continue to kill people as long as guns are continue to be made and placed into the wrong hands. Some people use guns just to shoot at targets. Some people use guns to shoot at deer. Like deer, they hunt bear, they hunt elk, they hunt game, they hunt food. Some people hunt people. And they can't make a whole thing about the NRA talking about the gun violence in Philadelphia if they don't address the racist shit that goes on in Kentucky, the stuff that goes on in West Virginia, the militias of these white guys that have small armies inside of their built in case of bomb drops, situated strictly because something happened to an officer or something happened in a certain area. We have to look at life as life is, and what life is, it's life. We're either going to preserve, protect it, or we're going to take it. That's what it is. There's no ups, there's no downs, there's no in between. But there is a sense of us that can walk away and say, hey, I'm going to place myself. And this is where the education comes back into our communities. Putting our kids, giving our kids something to look forward to other than the hustle. Some kids are eating fruity pebbles with roaches running on the table. They got rats running in their house. They want better. Mom and them can't buy them food, but they got the fuck cable so they can watch other people live artificial lives, and that's where they want to be. So they go into drugs. So,
what's really sad too, half of these moms be prostituting, selling their ass too while the kids is in the crib suffering. So I mean, you got to look at the other aspect of the other life of this. You know what I'm saying? I went in the house, I seen actual women shoot the fuck up. I seen it back in the day. I seen this shit. He has been full witness of this. Some of the horrors and gores that you have seen. You don't have to go too graphic, but some of the horrors and gores have you seen in Philadelphia and Uptown.
I mean, I've seen stuff done in Philadelphia. I've seen stuff done in New York. You know, my family's out there too. Shout out to Brooklyn, Harlem. I just want to say that whatever I seen is what I saw. But I'm mature enough to channel it.
Right. Right. The recording stopped for a minute. We're going to continue on.
The problem that I have is not what I seen and what I saw. It's with young kids who are kids of young kids who had kids and what they're seeing. Because you have kids having kids. You know, anytime you're 25 and your son is 10, I'm just saying, if you're 25 or 26 and your son is 10 or your son is 11, a baby had a baby. So, depending on your ability to raise a child is going to depict what kind of child is being raised that you are trying to raise. You know, some people have that understanding to where they can go ahead and they can do whatever that they want to do, and it's okay. You have some of these women that are out here, they're thick, the kids are thick. They say, why are our babies so thick? Why are they so big now? It's Similac, and it's from the Chinaman. 4 chicken wings with salt, pepper, ketchup, hot sauce, and white rice. So these are the things that they're poisoning the system with other than the drugs. And it's putting us in this, it's building us and it's subjecting us to certain things that we necessarily shouldn't have to be subjected to. Solely and strictly because this is how society has things made up. Society has it set up for us to fail. For us to fail. A lot of people say they understand that, but they don't approach it as they understand it. Some people say they respect it, but they don't put enough love towards it to show that they respect it.
Here's the deal, too. Here's a scenario. You got these young boys shooting. You just happen to be walking past the damn scene and stuff like that. And the next thing you know, you got many times that me and you've been through it. We had to dodge stuff that just happened out of nowhere, which is not fair at all. You know what I mean? And people take this city as a joke, and it's not nothing to play with here. I tell you all that.
Well, it's not so much the fact of that, because when I'm fired upon, I fire back. So it's not so much the issue of that. The problem is, why should I have to be fired on if I'm not doing anything? If I'm not bothering you and you're not bothering me, stop the spontaneous, stop it. Stop being so spontaneous to pull a gun. You know, Philadelphia is a beautiful city. I think America's a beautiful place, period. I think all of the cities, Chicago has a lot of gang affiliations, a lot of gang stuff goes on there. Chicago's beautiful. As far as the gangs and stuff, that's their aspect of life. If I have a feeling that I feel about it, absolutely not. because that's the way that they live. That's the way they operate. That's their function. Do I think it could be better? Absolutely. Same thing with Philadelphia. Same thing with California. Same thing with Florida. Same thing with Georgia. Same thing with North Carolina. All these different places, they all have things in different areas that have aspects that can be troubling. But at the same time, we have to look at why it's a problem. We can't just sit there and say they wilding out, they acting dumb for no reason. No, niggas is broke. Niggas don't got no motherfucking money. Ain't doing what they gotta do to put some food in their cabinet. You can't knock a motherfucker for wanting to put food in his cabinet. You can't knock a person for wanting to say, you know what, damn, I want my kid to have something. I always preach the education, but you also gotta preach reality. Reality is the ability to say, hey, we know this is what needs to be done, but right now it can't happen. You know, sometimes you got to take a part-time job before you can get the full-time job you want.
Thank you.
Now, I'm not trying to promote you to go out there and sell drugs and sell guns and sell pussy. Well, I do promote the selling pussy, but I'm just saying. But it's you gotta. Oh boy. But at the same time, there's nothing wrong for somebody to want better for themselves. Now, a lot of people comment, they listen to what you say, they listen to your blog, they listen to your stream, they listen to whatever they post on your channel, your interview, and they say, well, damn, well, this, and everybody want to sit up there and try to surgically dissect your shit like you in science class. Nah, nigga, fuck that. In order for you to dissect what I'm feeding you, you have to eat what I'm eating. And if you're not eating it, you can't say shit. So if you haven't ate what I've ate, you can't say nothing. What I would like to say is this. What I would like to say is this, and I really would like to say this. I would like to see a lot more young adult nightclubs open back up in Philadelphia. Because I know, especially back in the early '90s, they gave the young guys and the young women an outlet where they weren't on the streets, where they didn't feel that they had to be on these corners and on steps and stoops where the cops will fuck with them. Start fucking with them for curfews. They would go up, they would get dressed, they would buy outfits. In their own way, they were stimulating the community because they would work for their little bit of money, go out and go to the gallery, go down 52nd and Market. They would go up Germantown Avenue. They would go to the Cheltenham Mall. They would go to these different areas, get their little clothes. They would go down Chester because Chester, Overtown Avenue of the States, Chester always was big too. Chester, big up Chester too. All the people in Chester. The Chester get down too. Chester stays busy.
And still busy until this day, dude.
My niggas in Sun Village, big up.
Big up to them.
But it's just that you gotta look at it like, it gave them something to do. So when you take away little outlets to party, now they're frustrated. We had a mayor a few years ago, Michael Nutter, who was a fucking nut. He started closing down libraries, started taking computers and books out to schools. You're killing your people. And they used him. He was a straight house nigger, and they used him. You know what I mean? And they used him. And it's a shame because they have him, or they had him do the same thing to what Chip Kelly did to the Eagles. He dismantled shit. So now we got kids struggling. They can't read. You got kids that are stuttering more, kids that are illiterate, kids that don't even know simple math problems. They know how to get on a tablet. They know how to get on Facebook. They know how to Snapchat. They know how to Instagram. Basically, it's like you're suppressing one thing, giving them something else, and then turning around saying they not shit. That's why I never had a problem whooping my kids' ass. The thing is, it's like if you don't beat your kids now, the cops are going to beat them later. I don't personally think that one or two people are going to make a difference. I think that everybody collectively, when come together the right way, where everybody addresses everything together, we can form a force field. We can put something together to protect these kids, protect the adults, protect ourselves. Um, as far as the saying guns aren't the problem, it's the drugs. Well, drugs are the problem. The people who sell drugs have guns. Guns are the problem. The people who sell us the guns are the government. So technically, the government's the problem. And the government's the problem because the way the drugs get into the cities is through the government. I don't know a gun manufacturer in America. They say they're made in America, but if you actually Google them, look where they're actually manufactured. And the ones that are manufactured and the ones that are sold, look at the highest selling guns. They keep promoting AR-15s. AR-15s is old. That's bullshit. It's the same rifle that Tony Montana had in Scarface, except he had a grenade launcher on it. That goes back to the 70s, 80s. That's not a new rifle. It's just something that they're trying to sell. Sales on AR-15s have went up. It's a marketing ploy to infuse and confuse the black community so that everybody now sitting there and they are going through this state of despair because they want to promote guns. M16 is very different. AR-15 rifling is different, but it's not so much the fact that you never shot no one. You're responsible. Difference, I like reading the comments as we're going along. Difference between people who are responsible. That's one thing. You are the person that the Second Amendment is about. It's the knuckleheads that don't have the respect for what these type of weapons can do. They are the problem. And you are partially right, because a lot of people now, they're on these perks. They're on the smoking wet. They're on coke. Weed ain't never hurt nobody. But they don't know how to handle what they have. And a lot of them are punks and they can't fight. Since they can't fight, the first thing they want to do is shoot somebody.
Oh, and Diesel, you're North Jersey native. You know what I'm saying? You're North Jersey native living to last. I just want to let them know that we was always in North Jersey. Me and him, we have a buddy up there in North Jersey. We was always up there all the time. Yeah. You know what I mean? So on you like this, I say I own many guns but never shot no one. You can't fix crazy. I had an M16. They're very different. He told me what up, bro. Topic. So go ahead, answer on that.
Well, the thing is, yeah, we represent my boy Will, Newark, Fifth and Clinton, definitely. But it's not so much the fact of the guns. It does go back to the people that are behind them. It's the same thing that cars don't crash themselves. It's the people behind the wheel. So I don't want to get the topic. I don't want to get the topic to the point to where we're losing track of the point that we're trying to make. I don't want to itemize it just being based around guns. It is absolutely the people that are behind the guns. And as far as what's the Sneed Mobile Tech?
Sneed Mobile Tech says soldiers come home with these guns too. Some of them are not responsible. Let me see. I hate when this crap happens right here. Close that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and as far as with the soldiers that come home with these weapons too, yeah, some of them
are not psychologically capable of being responsible.
Yeah, a lot of them are damaged because they come home and their mind frame is still in the war. But once again, it goes back to the people who are behind the weapons. It's not the weapons itself. Weapons don't fire themselves. The weapons don't load themselves. Weapons don't store themselves. Definitely the people behind the weapons and the psychological part, as far as where they're coming from.
See, that's a troll right there. See, this is what I be doing with.
Don't worry about that. No, it's cool. I mean, if it's someone who's
I'm hiding them.
No, don't hide anybody if they're posting. Let everybody say what they want to say. As far as what's his name, Mr. Spooky.
Yeah.
Um,
Said we don't know shit.
okay, well, Mr. Spooky, that's your opinion, and that's fine. But spooky means scared. So if you're scared, then that means you don't know shit either. Um, but what I will say is the problem that we have is, see, Mr. Spooky might be a person that might take a gun and want to shoot everybody if
Right.
he's afraid.
Exactly.
What I will say is that um, we have to um, we have to all come together, regardless of what your opinion is. I know I had to laugh too, Mr. Spooky. You had to laugh too, right, Mr. Spooky? That's cool. But listen, the thing is, it's not so much the fact as far as if you feel that we're right and you're wrong. It's more so. It's more so that we have to accept the fact that guns will hurt people if they're used incorrectly. So if we can't agree on anything else, we have to agree on that. If nothing else, we all must agree on that. Okay. Because I see it happen too much. Mr. Spooky, where are you from, by the way? If you don't mind responding, I'm just curious. If you don't mind responding, because I would like to know that too. Because different areas don't have the same conditions. Certain people live different in certain areas. I actually moved out of the city now, so I don't live um, where I used to live because I have kids now. So I don't want them around anything that I can think that would be potentially a problem that they would have to encounter in the future.
This is different from social radical groups here in Philly. You answer that for me.
Well, Mr. Spooky, I got what you're saying. Um, these shootings are mostly caused by radical social groups. Well, this wasn't a group. This is one person from Nicetown and Tioga. And if you know anything about Philly, uptown, you'll know that there's nothing nice about Nicetown. So this wasn't a radical social group. This was a guy that had a lot of ammunition and he was taking down a police force. So I understand what you're saying. Because what you're saying is true as well, as far as the different people who are like I said, once again in different areas. We have to right now start promoting just a lot more positivity, a more positive way of thinking, a more better train of thought for the young kids because the young kids right now are lost. There is there's a time and there's a place for everything, and I think right now we have to regroup and start relearning. I mean, all of us, children and both adults, because what's happening is right now we're losing our kids. We're losing our kids. Um, and some of us adults act like kids that are lost. So we have to really get it together.
It's one sister I know. She's pretty good right here. She got so many tech devices. You got KB100 right here. He says salute to the brother speaker. He's speaking straight facts like he haven't off the plate that you can't not understand the days. She in North Carolina City. She from Fayetteville.
Thank you, KB. Thank you. Yeah, you know what, KB, we gotta just, like I was saying, we gotta really just do a lot better. Um, because I'm tired of keep hearing about shootings. I don't watch the news really. This touched close to home because of where I'm from and where that's at, and it's 7 minutes away, maybe about 14 blocks away. So it's close to home. So I'm touching on it because there were babies, there were people and kids in daycares. It was older people, younger people. It was people. Period. You got a bunch of fools shooting for absolutely no reason. The guy was served a warrant that he didn't want to go to jail. He wound up surrendering last night after midnight, and guess what? He's still in jail. Now we got 6 murder attempts on 6 cops, plus kidnapping and all this nonsense. I think a lot of people just don't think. Um, they deal with more emotions than logic. And when you let emotions supersede logic, you run into these problems.
Exactly. So what's the, so what this I mean? So what the sad thing is, we have lost homies back in the day. You know what I mean? Lost people that had to deal with the street violence. You know what I'm saying? So I want you to not shout their names out, shout out some of their situations that happened similar.
Well, I can tell you my favorite scenario was my best friend was killed right next to me. I have his name, initials, and a bullet tattooed on my shoulder. And I'm gonna tell you something. It's not pretty. The question is, it's not about telling the old stories of what happened. It's about talking about what we're going to do to make it change or help it to change.
Exactly.
You know, the white people come in, they listen to our music, listen to our slang, they play our music, they talk our lingo during TV shows, during professional football games, during everything. They can market off of us. It can promote us to them. Why can't we promote us to us and do something to where we can benefit everybody so everyone can have something? A guy told me the other day, he said, I don't know what you're talking about. You need to go back to where you came from. And I said, wow. I said, that's deep. Caucasian male. Well, I'm going to call him a white guy. He's a white guy. And I said, all right. I said, well, I know where I come from. I said, but what does that have to do with where I'm at? I said, because if you don't have an Indian reservation card and you're in America, you're a foreigner too.
Right. And let me see what KB said. I feel you, but what's side of his story? How did they come at him and deliver the warrant? And a drug warrant guns was already drawn upon him entering.
Yeah. Well, you know what I think, maybe to be honest with you, I think that they did what typical Philly crooked cops do. Kicked in his door, like Biggie said, kick in your door, wave in the 4-4. I think they came and kicked in his door. It was probably a trap house, and someone's trying to rob him. So we started shooting. And if they're in plain clothes, it just looks like a bunch of people trying to rob you. It doesn't look like the cops are serving a warrant. But he probably shot these cops, not knowing that they were actual cops. And then it was too late. Because you can't say, "Oh, I'm sorry." Now it's, I got to keep going with this. Um, unfortunately, unfortunately, it's happened to him. And fortunately, he's still alive. Because we get pulled over for traffic stops, and a lot of dead right now. So
It happened down where you at. It happened in Charlie. So Pastor.
a lot of stuff has happened. We do have hate crimes. We have things like that. This was definitely not a hate crime. I want to tell the group this was definitely not a hate crime. This was more so a crime, I think, of fear. Because in Philadelphia, it's like the motto was "get down and lay down."
Mm-hmm.
It was "get down and lay down," and people will rob you, people will kill you. And I think that he was on mentally. I think his headspace was that I don't care what goes on, I'm going out.
Exactly.
You're right. People will never hear his side of the story. That's why it's people on the street who we always got to listen to what the streets say. That's why when reporters, the news team comes out, they always want to talk to the people on the street because that's the real news. That's where they get it from, the people on the streets. Um, and I think it was wrong. I think it was unjust. What I do also think is, had he been educated and lived a different lifestyle, this wouldn't even be a topic because he wouldn't even be a person in question.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Some of these dudes don't really want to reason. You know what I mean? They see stuff, and they react, which is a sad thing. I mean, many incidents I had to deal with who's reacting and stuff like that, you know. And it's really like messed up, you know what I'm saying? So young boys out here out in the hood and stuff, what you had to teach them to calm them down to make them change their life?
The thing is, right now, there's different programs that that we're trying to establish right now, um, to help these young kids to put the guns down. Unfortunately, with the programs, it's almost like a person recovering from drugs. They have to want to actually do it. You can have everything put in place, but if they don't want to put in the effort, you have to meet us halfway. It's a 50-50. It's you come to terms with your issue and you want to fix it, or you continue going the way that you're going. Unfortunately, as Black people, we are kings and queens. We are royalty. Um, we were never supposed to be or live how we live. That's not the reality. The reality is this is our life, our current life, especially for our urban residents, because we might have a nice house. I might actually have 3 rolls of toilet paper, whereas he might have a couple of napkins from Wendy's to wipe his ass when he uses the toilet. Everybody's lifestyle is completely different, and we have to meet people where they're at. We can't look down on somebody from where they're at from a financial aspect. We have to look at everybody as people, whether you're white, you're Black, you're Chinese, you're Korean, you're Aborigines, you're Spanish, whatever you are. You can be an alien from outer space. We have to look at things as far as enough. Like I said, enough is enough. It's just too much violence. There's too many things that are going on. There's too many things that are going on in the world today. We continuously see it, and it doesn't get better. I don't want to hear about Prince Henry or Harry or whatever getting married. I don't want to hear about that. I don't want to see his baby. She is cute. I don't want to see his baby. I don't want to hear about the Jay-Z or Beyonce. I want to hear about the Aishas. I want to hear about the Maliks. I want to hear about the James. I want to hear about the Eddies. I want to hear about the people around me who are now starting to come to terms with things that weren't right in their life, and they're making a difference. We're all not going to be rich. We're all not going to be millionaires. We're not all going to be successful. We can all live good.
Exactly. Now, I mean, there's possibilities. See, but the problem is our people don't merge together. Me, him, and try to run a business. The problem when we try to run a business is just our people not merging together as one. All we need is just a simple few people to help us get to where we need to get to. That's it. It didn't happen. We got kicked around like a wounded animal. And then just because we get kicked around like a wounded animal, we can't blame it on that. Here's the result. When we don't merge, this is why these situations happen. Police shootings, people getting murdered on the streets and everything, you know what I mean? The pure niggerism that we deal with, you know what I mean? That's what happens, man, you know what I mean? And cats are too quick to go to these pistols, you know what I mean? You got cities, and then you got to go through reasoning and plea bargain not to get your ass shot or killed. It's ridiculous, man. We should be able to go to each other and say, yo, brother, I need you for this. I need you for that. You know what I'm saying? And we can't do it. It's sad. You know? And so I want you to say it on this. I mean, read her comment first.
Love a comment. Yeah. Love us. Yeah.
Let me see, my homie saying something to me right now. Go ahead, answer her question. I'll be outside.
Well, a lot of things also that happen is we just as people, we need a little bit more. We need a little bit more substance. We need a little bit more substance and just structure. See, we are foundation. We are the builders, the creators, the uniters. They put us as the dividers. That's not what we are. We've been divided. You know, um, we've been divided. We've been neglected. We've been downplayed. We've been destroyed. We've been um, around. We've been slapped around. And in all actuality, we were the only color communicating with the people. We are the ones, and we have been the ones who have continuously bought messages about what we were living, how we were living, and why we were living that way. And we did it through graffiti. We did it through hip hop. We did it through breakdance. We did it through trap music. Um, these are the things, crunk music. These are the things that we have done. We have always been continuously speaking to the communities, people, the world, period. What it is they generalized our message and they made it a business instead of making it a priority. And that's what made the difference. Instead of them saying, hey, look, these people are hurting. Let's do what we got to do to help them. They just patent a couple of slogans that we made and they go ahead and make commercials. They make money. We're still povertized inside of the hood.
I noticed a few people it happened to, stuff like that. People who made like Uber and all that. These are black people who invented these websites. They were stolen from them, patents and everything. You know me, because we didn't have the knowledge to really control anything, and then that's a difference. You look into do your home deep research on it, and you'll see who's really got screwed, who really got robbed.
Well, if you look at what Uber and Lyft is nothing but what we used to call in Philly down 52nd and Market is a hat cab. For Broad and Alley is a hat cab. In New York, a hat cab. It was just a person trying to make a couple of dollars that didn't want to pay for a cab. Now they didn't took our idea, took our word, and they made companies, multi-million-dollar companies who, I don't know about y'all, I'm not going front, I'm gonna keep it real. I got an Uber account, got a Lyft account. These are things that I have. I have these because when I go out, I don't always want to be behind the wheel. So I do have these. These are the things that we have started and has been taken from us once again. Even now in 2019, going on 20, we're continuously being raped. John Crow and Babylon the Great has never stopped taking advantage of us. But the reason why they stopped taking advantage of us, or why they continue to, I want to say that because I said that wrong, is because we haven't stopped allowing them to. We keep letting them do what they want to do, however they want to do it, whenever they want to do it. Instead of us promoting ourselves, we're quick to sell out. And I'm not saying all. I absolutely cannot say all, because that's not the case. And when I mean sell out, I'm not saying, oh, well, I'm Uncle Tom. I'm not saying that. I'm saying sell our ideas or give away free information instead of doing what they do and just keep it to yourself. You know what I mean? Who's this? Sneed Mobile Tech. Dudes blasting pistols ain't hearing this. Yeah, I know, Sneed, and it's a shame. Because they do. They do need to hear this, and they need to actually follow it, and they should pay attention to it. Because I carry my pistol every day. But I carry it when I go to the range. We target shoot. We just target shoot. But it's nothing that I need to keep on my person because I'm in fear of something. If I have to go out and I need a gun to go out, I don't think I need to go out. I think I need to find something else to do because it doesn't make any sense for me to sit up there and have to walk around in fear of my life. They say you live by the sword, you die by the sword. You live by the gun, you die by the gun. So if I feel that I have to do that, and that's going to be my main way or my only way that I can actually go out and enjoy myself, then I don't need to take my black ass out. I need to stay home, make me a banquet chicken pot pie or a grilled cheese sandwich, watch Netflix, and keep it moving. I never promoted or preached violence. Um, I understand that people do what they have to do. I understand that. But you have to also detail why you did what you felt that you had to do. And was it something else you could have done differently? I don't think that we're limited. I don't think that we're limited. Um, I think that we're actually where we need to be. I just think we need a little bit more molding, a little bit more smoothing out. We need to be smoothed around the edges because right now we're not smoothed around the edges, and we're still rough. We're still hurt from what happened from slavery. We're still hurt from the way we're still being treated. Because slavery, to be honest with you, it was abolished, but it was never ended. There's a reason why Lincoln is on the penny, and the penny's brown. Now, that got killed in these last mass shootings. Yeah, unfortunately, it's a shame because a lot of these people that got killed in a lot of those mass shootings, see, that's a little different. The mass shootings were a little different because they seem to be a little bit more hate motivated. Once again, I'm also not the psychiatrist that had to examine the shooters, the guy in Vegas and another young kid that went into the movie theater and shot up the crowd. I just don't understand what it would take to possess somebody to do something like that. That you wake up in the morning, you brush your teeth, you eat your breakfast, take a shower, you load your guns, I'm going to go kill a bunch of people. This world is demonic. It's demonic. And not preaching to go biblical because, you know, you have some people who are Muslims in the group, some people who are Christians, some people who are Mormons or whatever, you know, it's different people that are in this group, in this stream. But something definitely going on in this beyond control. And you're right, you never know when you need your gun. So it's better to have one and not need one than to need one and not have it. But at the same time, you don't want some people, it's like when they drink beer, they drink liquor, they call beer muscles. You got a lot of these cats, they walk around with these guns and they get this toughness because I got a gun on me. So I know if something happens, I can shoot you. And that's wrong too. I think they need to do like mental evaluations before they give these kids gun permits. And the ones that have them, they should lock them up. That's what I feel.
Pretty powerful message, pretty powerful, pretty powerful. Been on here almost an hour. It's been 53 minutes. So you got any last words? It's powerful. That's going to be said about the city and said about this incident that could really affect people and change people's lives.
Yeah. If you know anybody who's younger to you, who you can reach out to, or you see if they're struggling with something, whether it be a man, whether it be a young lady, reach out to them. Just, you know, kind of say, hey, you know, I care about you. You know, I think that we can do things better. You know, let's start to promote more positive messages and give these kids something to really look for. I know when I was younger, I used to look for just getting an allowance just for cleaning the toilet and raking up leaves and, you know, spray painting over the chalk and spray painting over the spray paint that someone spray painted on our house. So, you know, start giving them goals, start giving them ideas, start giving them suggestions. And because it starts with us, you know, and they don't have to be your child for you to make a difference. It just has to be somebody who you want to make a difference. And that's it. All right. So I'm done. I will talk to you people another time. This is Blonde Daisy, up in Germantown, West Side, all day. Like I said, once again, shout out to all of Philadelphia. You know, my B-more people, my Atlanta people, my Carolinas, you know what I mean? Harlem World, stand up. You know what I'm saying? Brownsville, you know what it is. And but all jokes aside, the message is still the same though. Just we gotta just do a lot more better to be better for everybody. And that's all I gotta say. I'll catch y'all beautiful people later. Talk to you.
Here we go. And then there you have it. Right here and live and direct. Live and direct from my goons and people, myself and people I really roll with. You know what I mean? It ain't about being real. It's about trying to show positive, trying to do something good for your community. It's about having a team spirit with each other to try to build each other up. That's what we need to do. You know what I mean? Don't feed what the Alphabet Boys is feeding you. Feed what we're feeding you on the street and what I'm telling you and others are telling you. That's the honest, the honest truth. That's all that is. You know what I'm saying? And we deal with people and all types and all types of things and all that. So I ain't worried about this video or nothing like that. I had to put the truth out there. I did 2 videos. This is the second video I did make proof that stuff is real. And this second one, and this is alive. This is a person who don't like speaking on the internet at all. You know what I mean? Don't like it. He'll avoid it and everything. You know what I mean? He'll actually fist fight you over it. You know what I mean? And speaking on his net. He knows that. you damn sure know that. You know what I mean? What's happening with the city and stuff like that, we don't, as Philadelphians and people from the tri-state, Chesterians and everything don't take control, we're not going to be able to do it. But we got to do it and on our own and end it. And I'm going to end it right here on a positive message. And I'm going to let them say it.
And one last thing too, don't forget to watch out, check out for our ladies for breast cancer awareness. Always keep that in mind also. You know, you have a mom, a grandmama, aunt, always keep that in mind too. You know, check on them, talk to them, you know, make sure they're good. That's one of the #1 leading killers in our African American women.
Right. Now make sure you get fit, make sure all y'all hit the gym, get healthy, stay on top of positive things like that. Take care of your family, your home. Don't let propaganda feed you into a machine of death. All right, I'm out of here. 1. Keystone Technologies signing out. Peace.